thepascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up? We got some new information revolving around the Karmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf case, something that we've all expected to happen. And I knew that this was going to happen at some point. They've been talking about it. They said it way before their press conference, the Karmelo Anthony family press conference. They said it in interviews, or, at least sources were saying that this was going to happen, that Karmelo Anthony and his family were going to actually relocate to a new home. And now they're saying that they have relocated to an undisclosed location that no one knows about. Apparently, it is a top secret location because they are scared for their lives. And again, if what they're saying is true, I don't blame them for being scared. If people are coming to them, approaching them in public, sending them death threats, etc., right in to their home, they've been doxxed, etc. I mean, even so, the other family too, the Metcalf family, they've been swatted now. I mean, again, I wouldn't be surprised if the Metcalf family relocates to an undisclosed area or undisclosed location as well. I mean, again, it has been absolutely crazy out here in these streets, and we need to find, some of us need to find new hobbies. Okay. Okay. It's been absolutely insane. All right. But let's take a look at this article real quick. But like I said, they have moved to an undisclosed top secret location to ensure his safety and the family's safety as well. We heard Karmelo Anthony's mother speak out and say, their own kids, all of their kids are scared for their life. And I know in a way the family is on trial with, like when a kid goes to jail or when a family member goes to jail, the family's basically in jail with them too. But at the same time, this is Karmelo Anthony's doing, and he's the one that has to fight to show that it was self-defense or not the family. And I really think that we just need to, the people out there that are causing hell, okay, on both families, doxing and swatting them and all that stuff. Everyone needs to calm down, step back, and chill out, okay? But they have moved into a new location. It is what it is. And I know a lot of people are going to be wondering if they used a lot of this money, a lot of the Give, Send, Go money for this as well, because apparently they've been able to get their hands on the money, and they've been able to get access to the Give, Send, Go money, which they've raised over $450,000. It may have been more since the last time I checked the numbers, but still they've been able to get their hands on it. And of course, I mean, if Give, Send, Go says that there's nothing fraudulent going on, so be it, right? Like I said, let him have his time in trial, in court, and let his team present an argument that it is self-defense, and let a judge and jury come up with a verdict. And then that will be it, right? But moving on, representatives for the family of Frisco murder suspect Karmelo Anthony issued a news release Monday morning saying they're gravely concerned about the threats against them. Okay, so because of the threats, the Next Generation Action Network, NGAN, okay, says the courts approved for Anthony to be moved from his home to an undisclosed location to ensure his immediate safety. In a way, I keep on wondering, maybe he moved somewhere else separately from the family. I know that may be a dumb question. It's probably a dumb question, but again, I am wondering if maybe he moved somewhere else so that the family can kind of live in a little bit more of a safer environment without people coming after them all the time, because they know that that's where Karmelo is staying at or something like that. But, I doubt it. I'm sure they all went with him. They're all in the same location together as a family, but still, it is crazy that they have to move. Okay, that the threats, etc., are that intense. But let's move on. We already know he's being charged for what he did. All right, and he's claiming self-defense right now, etc. All right, and of course he was released on bond, on $250,000 bond, when it was a $1 million bond. Okay. And of course, we already know about Dominique Alexander, the spokesperson for the family, and also the founder of the Next Generation Action Network. Okay. So Karmelo moved to an undisclosed location. What we know, according to NGAN, over the past several days, there has been an alarming increase in death threats, continued harassment, and physical intimidation targeted at the family's home. So again, like they said at the press conference, people are actually showing up coming up to their face in public and threatening them. Okay. And then, of course, I'm sure they're getting things in the mail. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of vandalism going on the cars, etc., on their home, the home that they're at until they moved, etc. You see what I'm saying? So this is absolutely crazy. Some of the harassment includes people visiting the Anthony family home, loitering, and taking photos of the property, false food deliveries. That's interesting. Disturbing mailings, including Austin Metcalf's obituary, and people repeatedly circling the family home, taking photos and attempting to provoke fear and intimidation. This is what the news release states. Okay, so NGAN shared images and videos of the alleged threats in the news release. So of course there's this basically I guess that's a flyer from the funeral, if you can see that. Okay, people showing up to their home. I mean, this is pretty crazy. More and more people just showing up to the crib. I mean, that's weird. Okay, so we are sharing images and documentation of the threats the family has faced this past weekend to make the public aware of the dangerous atmosphere that has been created. An atmosphere fueled by organized hate, systemic racism, and intentional misinformation. This is what Dominique Alexander said in a news release. Okay, so he says, continuing, it is both heartbreaking and infuriating to see the depths of hate and bigotry still alive and well in our society. No family should have to live under siege simply because they are demanding their constitutional rights. We will not be silent. We will not back down. We are committed to doing whatever is necessary to protect this family and to ensure that justice is pursued without intimidation or fear. So now, and that's another reason why they moved to an undisclosed location, was due to a recent rally, which we already know about, the Protect White Americans rally, which was dismal. Okay, was minimal at best. Okay, as far as the showing up and the showing up and showing out portion, okay, of that protest. Not a lot of people showed up. All right. Yes, 2 people were arrested, but for the most part, it was peaceful, except for that little altercation and those 2 arrests. But outside of that, it was fairly peaceful. No, there weren't any riots or anything crazy going on in those streets. But anyway, guys, this is just something I think is very, very interesting, and I think that it's fair for the family to want to move somewhere else if they are worried, if they are constantly getting, like they said in here, people circling around their home, constantly taking photos, right? Taking photos of the property, loitering, showing up to their home, the false food deliveries, which is crazy, sending mail to the home. Okay. I mean, that's just crazy. All right. And again, I would say the same thing to any other person, any other families that are, dealing with something like a tragedy like this. Okay. I'd say the same thing. We need to just leave them alone. Okay. Let the courts do what they need to do. The harassment is not going to make the situation any better. It makes the situation worse. And those are innocent people. The family didn't do anything. It's what Karmelo Anthony did. It's not the family that did that. So again, like I said, I think that we need to leave them alone and be respectful and let the courts do what they do. Because one thing that Dominique Alexander did say, and he is right about it. I know That's going to anger some people, but at the same time, it is the same. He is right because it's the same thing that we all have as American citizens. It is our constitutional right. He has a right. Karmelo Anthony has a right to go to court and make his plea in trial. That is his legal right, his constitutional right. I know we don't like to hear that. Okay, some sides are upset to hear that, but at the same time, this is not how we get justice. This is not how we get clarity. This is not how we find the verdict on whether or not he's guilty of first degree or if this is actually self-defense. Terrorizing the family is not how we get the job done on any side of the fence. Okay. And in this, I would say the same thing for any other situation. Okay. Any other case. Real talk. So again, what say you guys on this? I know some people are probably angry about this, like, oh, they're so scared. But at the same time, guys, real talk. It's Karmelo that's on trial, not the family. And we have to remember that. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button. We'll talk here soon. Man, this is just getting crazy. And there's still more crazy stuff. I guarantee you we'll be talking about it very, very soon. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is on so you know whenever I go live and whenever I upload. And we'll be talking here soon. Stay up, everybody. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.